April 9th, 2019. It's about 65 degrees out today. Beautiful. A little overcast with some sun peeking through. Sprinkling a bit. Getting ready to put some garlic in. But I always want to come through and do a check on the greenhouse and a check on the bees. And the bees are cranking today. Wow. And I was moving in and looking a little closer. I've been watching Frederick Dunn's videos, frequently asked questions, and learning a little bit more about honeybees and their patterns and behaviors. And so I'm just learning to sit and kind of watch them and study them. And I was so impressed with how much pollen they're coming back with. Look at that. Those yellow carrier pouches are just loaded. I know I'm not using correct terminology. I apologize. My bee vocabulary is not upgraded yet. So I have to go out and do some recon at some point. I really probably should do it today, but there's too much to do. But I want to know where they're pulling that pollen from, because they're pulling in a tremendous amount of it. I mean, they are just cranking. So I was very excited to see that and to be able to recognize and notice that. And I'm really, really looking forward to learning more about honeybees. And my mom hooked me up with a smoker and a hive tool for my birthday. And we just ordered a bee suit this week. So I should be able to open these hives up. I'm going to pull the insulation off out of the top covers. There's a 1-inch insulation layer in there. I'm going to pull the 2-inch off the outsides of the hives, and I'm going to check the hive resources and have a look at things and see how they're doing. Judging by the activity on all 3 hives, I would say they're all doing quite well. And I may be able to harvest some honey off that top super on the middle hive, but we'll see how they're looking in there. But I'm very excited to see how much pollen they're bringing back. And whatever it is, it's a very orange colored pollen. I was just seeing one of the honeybees here on the landing board. It's a pretty orange colored pollen, and actually there's some balls of it right there. Like they just came in and dropped it off. Here, you guys deal with it. So interesting to watch their activity. I'm sitting about 6 or 7 feet from the hive, by the way, and they came out and scouted me initially, but other than that, they basically have just ignored me and gone on about their business. Take you back up to this upper entrance again, because that is really humming. Anyway, I couldn't let this opportunity to observe the bees go by and not be filmed, so I thought I would share it. So their flight path in general seems to be out in this direction, and so I followed to this tree. This is a swamp maple, I believe, that's flowering, and I can see some bees flying around the branches up there. Of course, it's hard to get up close, but I'm pretty sure this is where they're getting some of that pollen. There might be other resources around I as yet have not found. It's hard for me to see through the camera here what you can see, but I can definitely see some bee shadows flying around against the skylight background. Anyway, we'll see how that comes out on camera, but I suspect this is one of the resources they're after this early season. And you can see nothing else is really greened up yet. We got a little bit of onion grass starting to pop, and a few other early greens, but for the most part, not much. Some early green buds popping on the, what's it called again? I can't remember the name off the top of my head for some reason. Anyway, very little activity as of yet, although it's been warm the last couple days, so I expect things to start to pick up now. We'll see what other resources they're hitting that I can find. Found a hard maple here on the fence line, which is a beautiful hard maple. Wonderful canopy on it, would be excellent for tapping. But was noticing that on the hard maples here, we don't have any buds setting yet. They're starting to pop, but they're not there yet. So this resource is not yet available. I guess while we're assessing resources that are not yet available, I'll show this crabapple tree. I've had this in foliar feeds for 3 or 4 years. It was overtaken with rose bushes like the apple tree. And I scraped it all back with a tractor when my good friend Matt loaned me his tractor. Anyway, these are getting ready to pop. And this tree is always loaded with flowers and later in the season fruit. So that's a good one. We'll look at the apple next. So here's the apple tree. You can see these tops where I did a real heavy prune, not last fall but the one before, and you can see all the respondent upward growth. I should probably get up there and trim some of that vertical growth back down again. I'm hoping for a better season this year. We had cold weather late, and then we had hot and sunny and real dry for a couple months, and then it went wet and cold and crappy. I didn't really get much in the way of apples off of this tree this year, so or this last year. So I'm hoping this coming year will do better. You can see I started getting some wood chip mulch down here. Not the most ideal mulch, but it's something to help build and protect fungal activity, moisture, and microbes. I'll be getting some more down here when the tractor comes back. Also, since we're on the topic, this obviously has not popped out yet either, but it also is getting ready to. I hope you excuse my really dirty fingernails. I gotta clip them. I've been too busy. Anyway.